Hahna Latonick is the Director for Security Research at Dark Wolf Solutions. She's a cybersecurity expert with 18 years of experience in the defense industry. Hana has been featured as a cybersecurity subject matter expert on Fox Business News, ABC, US News and World Report, and other media outlets. A DEF CON Capture the Flag finalist and top-ranked ethical hacker, she trains and speaks at Black Hat, DEF CON, AUVSI, Ringser O, B-Sides, and other conferences. She holds several cybersecurity certifications and earned her Bachelor of Science and Master of Science in Computer Engineering from Drexel University. Please let me introduce Hana.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up? Excellent, fantastic. I'm excited to be here to discuss the attack and defense of AI-enabled systems. We are at an inflection point where the theoretical potential of AI and warfare is rapidly becoming a tangible reality. We're no longer talking about hypothetical scenarios. Real-world events are demonstrating the effectiveness and promise, as well as the peril of this technology. So let's consider some recent events. We had an unidentified drone swarm lingering over Langley Air Force Base for an unsettling 17 days, exposing a critical gap in our defense capabilities. On a larger scale, the Russia-Ukraine war is a stark testing ground showcasing the devastating effectiveness of drone strikes at an unprecedented level. We also are seeing the escalating use of drone swarms in the Middle East, such as the retaliatory attacks launched by Iran against Israel. And looking ahead, we're also seeing strategies like the US Navy's proposed use of marine drone swarms as a way to counter the potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan. All these events underscore and highlight the increasing reliance on AI-driven autonomous systems in critical defense planning. And these events are not isolated incidents. They all collectively represent a paradigm shift in the nature of conflict, and it also emphasizes the need for robust strategies, including offensive and defensive applications for AI in military contexts. So let's dive in. So uncrewed systems have become integral in military operations. Their ability to perform reconnaissance, surveillance, delivery, and even combat missions without risking human life has made them invaluable assets on the battlefield. Integrating AI into uncrewed systems has enhanced their capabilities, allowing for more autonomous and efficient operations. Common use cases of AI across uncrewed systems include perception, such as computer vision, object detection and classification, mapping the environment and its surroundings, decision control for path planning and behavior prediction, as well as system control for collision avoidance. And these technologies and features continue to provide significant benefit today. However, the incorporation of AI software and hardware components expand the attack surface of uncrewed systems, introducing new vulnerabilities and attacks that also need to be addressed in addition to your traditional cybersecurity threats. Specifically, adversarial attacks is the key problem that we're facing, where adversaries are using malicious techniques in order to disrupt the performance and accuracy of AI models, and ultimately causing the denial, disruption, deny, disrupt, degrade, deceive, and destroy of those uncrewed systems. There's a variety of different adversarial attacks. attacks. So I'll just touch upon a few of them. The first is sensor spoofing and manipulation, where attackers will manipulate sensor input, such as GPS data, in order to deceive the UXS perception of the environment, leading to incorrect navigation or target misclassification. We also have input deception and evasion attacks, where adversaries will craft inputs to exploit vulnerabilities in the AI's decision-making process, causing the system to misclassify objects, misinterpret commands, or even make wrong decisions. We have data poisoning, where attackers will contaminate the training data that is used to develop the AI models, causing the model to learn incorrect behaviors, as well as to misclassify objects as well. And then lastly, we have model extraction, where attackers will attempt to steal or replicate the model in order to analyze it for vulnerabilities, enabling the attackers to create future targeted attacks or even deploy their own malicious versions of those models. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is that as we place these AI models and capabilities on edge devices like uncrewed systems, there's an increasing need to take a multi-layered approach of combining cybersecurity best practices with AI defenses to address these issues. So let's talk a bit more about these defensive strategies. From one lens, we need to protect our own AI-enabled systems. This can include adversarial training, where we're exposing our AI models and capabilities to adversarial inputs to improve its robustness, using explainable AI techniques to better understand the model's behavior, which can allow us to reveal potential vulnerabilities and biases, continuing to follow secure coding practices, as well as securing the ecosystem of uncrewed systems. The compromise of one subsystem can lead to the compromise of another, such as an AI model or its AI capabilities. So we need to continue using secure communication channels like encrypting data at rest or in transit, often applying firmware and software updates to patch known exploitable vulnerabilities, as well as taking physical security into account. We need to lock away the uncrewed system when it's not in use so that it's not tampered with or the AI model is tampered with as well. Implementing proper physical access controls and then utilizing appropriate monitoring equipment of that storage room and facility. But on the other side of the coin, we also need to defend against AI-powered threats. This can be achieved by implementing AI-driven cybersecurity strategies, such as developing anomaly detection capabilities, where we're using AI and machine learning to detect anomalous UXS behavior. We can also develop predictive analytics, where we're using AI to predict UXS behavior or malicious activity. And these can be combined or used in conjunction with existing defense technologies, such as radars and RF detectors, in order to better detect, track, and manage malicious or unauthorized uncrewed system behavior. That would have been very helpful for the unidentified drone swarm at Langley. As well as we need to continue significantly investing in counter UXS capabilities so that we can more rapidly neutralize or disable malicious, unwanted, and unauthorized UXS threats. We also take into account the limitations of AI when applying it to the demands of UXS operations. This includes data dependencies, where AI models' performance are heavily dependent upon the quality and comprehensiveness of the training data that it's using, and that might not necessarily be possible in all operational scenarios. Also, we need to take into account edge cases. Again, AI models excel on the scenarios that they've been trained for, but when they're deployed out into the battlefield, they struggle and likely will encounter rare or unpredictable scenarios that may be easier for military operators to navigate. We need to ensure the robustness of these models against adversarial attacks and being able to replicate that as much as possible. And then lastly, we need to take into account how well these capabilities can integrate into existing military structures, processes, workflows, and so on to ensure interoperability and trust of these AI capabilities. Lastly, as my final slide, in order to use these AI-enabled systems in government environments or in military operations, we need to achieve an ATO, an authority to operate, and going through that authorization process. There are several resources available that authorizing officials or AOs and their teams can utilize to facilitate this process. This includes the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, or the AI RMF framework, also known as the AI 100-1 resource, which serves as an aid to mitigate AI risks. NIST then expanded upon that by introducing the AI RMF playbook, which provides recommended actions to take that are relevant to the core AI RMF framework. And then also with the explosion of LLMs and generative AI, NIST has also put out the 600-1, which defines and elaborates risks that are inherent to generative AI technologies. And then lastly, I'd like to touch upon the executive order on safe, secure, and trustworthy AI, which was released last October. We'll talk about the national memorandum that came out last month. But this executive order was a game changer, where it establishes new standards on AI safety and security, protecting Americans' privacy, and more. The thing, although these resources are very comprehensive, they can be dense, ambiguous, and open to interpretation, and it may be challenging to figure out, how do I implement this in practice? So Darkwolf, we put together the AI capabilities authorization approach, which describes how to I would say it enables AOs and their teams to navigate the AI authorization process using existing RMF and DoD guidance. And the main concepts, just to touch upon here, is that given the AI complexities that exist, there needs to be a paradigm shift in how these technologies are being assessed and authorized compared to traditional software. For example, the lack of transparency makes it harder to understand the decision-making process of AI. We have data mixing from a variety of sources that can introduce vulnerabilities and security risks, as well as AI outputs potentially revealing sensitive information or biased responses. So there needs to be a paradigm shift in how we're addressing those complexities. We also have, we encourage developing an AI authorization mindset of shifting from static authorizations to ongoing authorizations due to the rapid evolution of AI technology. And we continue to recommend applying RMF to AI systems, but adapting them in a way that addresses the AI risks and threats that exist. So for example, using the NIST 853, tailoring those steps to address AI threats. When it comes to assessments and evaluations, evaluating the AI models for their accuracy, robustness, and fairness. And then lastly, as I mentioned, given the evolution of AI technologies, not only that, AI models will evolve over time when they're exposed to new data, which again can introduce new vulnerabilities, new risks that require continuous assessment. So creating that culture of periodic assessments and continuous improvement is crucial. And then I'll just wrap up here stating that, again, to put this into practice, we recommend conducting tabletop exercises where the AOs and their teams can get together, walk through the simulation of authorizing AI capabilities, identifying what you're going to do during pre-authorization as far as AI system categorization, as well as what tools you're going to select for authorization, conducting the initial authorization stage where you actually do the AI system assessment and remediation. With respect to ongoing authorization and continuous improvement, where in this stage you're going to perform the AI system validation, as well as risk management. And then lastly, throughout the process, conducting and participating in AI-specific stakeholder engagement, communication engagement throughout the entire process. And this is something that you all can do right now, and we highly recommend. So, in closing, the future of warfare is undoubtedly intertwined with AI, and our preparedness today is going to determine our security tomorrow. Thank you.